Be careful. Check it out.
Very worried about AI, and kind of understandably so. Whether it's writers, whether it's visual effects, whether it's actors themselves, all of them have a reason to be a little bit scared about AI, especially with the level of quality of things that are being put out in the entertainment industry right now. The fact that a lot of people would rather consume AI-generated content, 99% of which is just slop, compared to the stuff coming out of Hollywood, is pretty indicative of the quality that Hollywood has been putting out lately. And the one nice thing about AI-generated content, you don't have to worry about people spouting their mouths off about politics. But the next advancement in AI that we just witnessed over the past week has Hollywood scared to death, to the point where they're already launching lawsuits, they're already doing cease and desist, they are doing everything they can to stop this in its tracks because they see that this could mean the end. C-Dance 2.0. ByteDance AI creates ultra-realistic Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt fight. Hollywood furious. And this is the fight scene that if you were on Twitter, you probably saw at some point in time. This was a
That's crazy. And the filmmaker said he did it on purpose just to see what happens. But now everybody freaking out in Hollywood because it's too realistic. And now the fact you got this Avengers trailer coming out, that looks kind of AI. So it's amazing how this is being played out. Amazing.
Two-line prompt in C-Dance 2. If the Hollywood is cooked guys are right, maybe the Hollywood is cooked guys are cooked too. I don't know.
That's crazy how it looks real.
Now, does this look perfect? No, it doesn't look perfect. But it looks pretty good. And
right, good morning, good morning. That's crazy how there's AI going on. Happy President's Day.
It has people absolutely panicked. And of course, they changed it up. They did Brad Pitt versus Zombie Ninja. They did Tom Cruise versus, I don't know, a different type of ninja, zombie ninja, something, I don't know. And then they even did this one, which this was probably my favorite.
Kill Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russian operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
And of course, after this, social media's been flooded with people making different either edits to movies or different fight scenes, whatever. Hollywood is fucking shitting their pants over this, understandably so. Now, I am not a person that wants AI-generated movies or television.
No, I do not.
Because, quite frankly, I think they're soulless. The problem is, it feels like so much of the garbage that Hollywood is putting out right now is soulless. So, the reason that so many people, even if I'm not one of them, would rather have AI-generated content than real stuff put out is because of what Hollywood does. They've done this to themselves. They have dug their
right. Hollywood is tripping with this AI, man. I think the Avengers movies might be AI starting out from here on out.
It's even up to the visual effects artists and the actors and everything. Because the quality has been so shit and people are so turned off by actors.
Good morning, Salty. Good morning.
Or whatever. A lot of people would welcome something like this with open arms. But Hollywood, they're very worried. And in all likelihood, what Hollywood wants to do, they want to do cease and desist and sue. And eventually they want to take over this and monetize it themselves so they can make their same stuff for cheaper. Probably their end goal in all of this. But you look at some of the stuff that's happening. One of the people behind Deadpool and Wolverine comes out and says, I hate to say it, it's likely over for us. Right? Marvel writer reacts as Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt AI fight video signals major leap in AI filmmaking. It's likely over for us. But then we start getting into the responses. The Motion Picture Association, they did a big statement. They issued a statement to ByteDance accusing of engaging in unauthorized use of U.S. copyrighted works on a massive scale, disrespecting well-established American copyright law, and to immediately cease in its infringing activity. SAG-AFTRA, also known as the Film Actors Guild, then posted a statement condemning the blatant infringement enabled by C-Dance 2, including the unauthorized use of actors' voices and likenesses, which undercuts the ability of human talent to earn a living. Now, you've got Disney blasting ByteDance with cease and desist letter over CDance 2.0 AI video model. Amid a rising storm of angst over the AI videos, Disney fired off a cease and desist letter to China's ByteDance for stocking its new CDance 2.0 platform with a pirated library of Disney's copyrighted characters. As the
You know what's a problem? You got Hollywood tripping. That's the thing about it. Hollywood, you know something bad going on when it comes to this AI. On the real.
And of course, this is
I mean, use and make money with
all
it,
these companies who
but don't be
may
deceitful with it either.
May be filing cease and desist. Look, I get it. I get why they're panicking. One of the things, however, is that ByteDance is a Chinese company. Whether they're going to comply with American copyright law, yet to be seen. Who knows? I think what Hollywood really wants to, and what these actors really want to, look, do you think that most of these actors, if given the choice, do you think that most of these actors would really be that offended by the premise of AI being made to do these things as long as they still got paid the same? Probably not. They're worried about their financials. That's what they're worried about, and they should be worried about it, because a lot of people, not all, not me, but a lot of people are more than willing to sit through AI slop because they feel like it's either exactly the same or an improvement on what Hollywood is currently giving us. That means the market is flooded with just slop after slop after slop. I guess that's what that means. But Hollywood is shaking in their boots right now. The thing is, they have no one to blame.
Right, pay themselves. Hollywood tripping.
They are the only ones to blame for the current predicament, because if they were actually producing stuff to the quality of what people have been expecting from them for the past decade plus, something like this AI stuff would come along and people would be like, I guess that's kind of cool, I guess, but I never want that to replace the actual filmmakers looking at stuff that you're putting out. Problem is, with 99% of your own stuff, the real stuff that's made by actual humans that comes out, it is propaganda or garbage or both. Why would people be open to full AI filmmaking for the foreseeable future?
Morning.
Go any further. Then they take it even further, right? I can't believe this is even happening. I can, because the left will show time and time again they'll just stop at nothing to do and say some of the most ridiculous, wildest things ever, especially against Republicans and most certainly against Donald J. Trump. We got to talk about this because, as I'm sure you guys have heard, there was a white liberal who called him a black ICE agent. Actually, I think I talked about the video. Yeah, I did post about it. There was a white liberal who called a black ICE agent a house N-word with the hard R. And that was
Okay, Salty, have a good one, man.
There was another white liberal. And it was for sure a white liberal, because I know the first video was a little in question, like maybe it was the black guy in the back. This one was for sure a white liberal. She called a black ICE agent the N-word with the hard R. And now we have liberals defending it. At least some of them. And one prominent one that we'll get into. But before we get into that, I want to post a little bit about this backlash, because not every liberal is in agreement, where every black person is in agreement with this. I don't know if this chick is a liberal or not. You can make assumptions, but check it out.
Moment in this day and this time where I will ever excuse a white person calling a black person the N-word. And I'm actually quite disgusted that I will see this video during Black History Month from a black person.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word, but we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent. An unidentified white.
You cannot be You cannot be anti-ICE and anti-black. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. You cannot be anti-ICE and anti-black. And Touré, as a black person and as a journalist, you have now created a frenzy of people in your comments chopping out the bit to use the N-word. And I'm sure that as a journalist that you know that by the
Make it make sense, right? The white woman called a black man the N-word. It's okay, but when a white, that just makes no sense, y'all. Selective outrages that I be having, straight selective outrages.
In addition to the fact that so many of you are contextually using house N-word outside of the line. Historically, the enslaved that were held inside of the home.
I don't care about the N-word. I've been called that many times from my own people, so I really don't care.
24-hour revolving door of surveillance of their mistress and master, while being completely separated from their families and on call day and night. But this is what you want? If we're going by your definition, then the only house nigga that I see around here is you.
Once again, like I said, not everybody agrees. And that is beautiful to see. It is beautiful to see. Because, as I've told you guys before, I've been called every name under the sun, right? Uncle T, the C word, all of them, right? All of them.
Right, I'm from Chicago, now I live in Rockford, but living in Chicago, I've been called all types of names. Well, I go on Facebook and I post up on Facebook related to the topic that's going on, and they call me a coon, I'm bogus, my black card is gone because I disagree with the BS. Yeah, what Trump put out as far as Obama and Michelle, that shit was funny. And it was a year ago when that Lion King video came out. I guess nobody didn't pay attention to then, but now Trump puts it out. Oh, it's an outrage. Amazing.
Doing something that they don't want to do, right? Someone who signed up to do a job and they're executing that job. This man gave an excuse to call them a house N-word. But obviously, right? Liberals will call me the slave. It seems like actually liberals are genuinely the slaves and not black conservatives, okay? Because to make an excuse for something like this is just crazy. But here's the video clip, ladies and gentlemen.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word, but we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent. An unidentified white male called the black ICE agent a house N-word who's working for the KKK. That's right, we have a white man calling a black...
That shit's stupid as hell. The Democrat Party is a part of the KKK. Only two people that was part of the party, only two had left that party. So the party never did switch. The party's from the KKK, from the Democrat Party. It started with the KKK, the Democrat Party. And it's crazy how the lady, I think in Ukraine, called a kid an N-word. Everybody outraged over that, and she ended up getting GoFundMe and all that. And now it's okay for him. Yo, this shit's confusing. Let's continue.
Man, the N-word. But this is a little bit different. White on black usage of the N-word is a very serious issue. But this is a curveball example. Is it wrong for a white person to call a black ICE officer a house N-word? Let's explore. The white man who used the N-word in this situation was being historically
Piece of guy, what's up?
precise. This black ICE agent, he is being a house N-word to the utmost degree. A black man in ICE is a modern house slave. He's a barely paid mule for white supremacy. The KKK were domestic terrorists. ICE is domestic terrorism. I think this is a valid usage of the N-word. He's not attacking his blackness per se. He's attacking his bootlicking choice to be in ICE while being a black man. Being black in
Yeah, it is broken, for real. This dude's a piece of shit.
ICE.
So why do you say the N-word with the hard R? Why not just say house black person? Exactly. This guy is, bro, this is crazy, man. Liberals will stop at nothing. Like I said, just when you thought they couldn't go any further, you got this. You have this. Now, mind you let Donald J. Trump say this, and oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Right, it'd be an outrage. Right, he got all them books behind him. He ain't reading out one of them goddamn books. Just trying to look smart with them big ass glasses. Come on, man. Bootlicking and all that. Because I disagree with you, I get name called. That's crazy. Let's agree or disagree. Why gotta name call each other?
Well, cities will burn to the ground. Cities, I mean, they will absolutely burn. And now you have this guy making an excuse. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine, guys. Because, he's doing a job that we don't like. So, yeah, we get to call him the house N-word. What?
All right, how you get a pass like that? That's crazy.
You can't make this stuff up, bro. They lost their minds. And I thought about making a video on this, but y'all gotta forgive me. Some days I'm just way too annoyed to even bother doing that. I was gonna make a video on, I'm sure you guys saw the post that Trump had posted, or his assistant had put up, where it had the Obamas as monkeys at the end, but you can clearly see where it scrolled to the next video. It wasn't even a video that he made. It was a screen recording.
Right, it wasn't even him.
The first clip ended.
Subscribe.
To the next video clip. And they didn't cut off the very end of the video. Shit happens, right? I mean, my videos are never perfect. Sometimes I forget to do certain things, and stuff happens, and that was that situation. And bro, oh my goodness, liberals.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
As if he made the video. They're still talking about it, but now you're giving an excuse for white people to call black
people. The only people that's dying when it comes to these ICE agents are these Americans watching The View and CNN and sending themselves off, blocking ICE agents from doing their job. They won't die if they stay at home or protest peacefully, which is sign and see what you got to say, but don't interfere, don't obstruct, don't block. It's a simple shit.
With the hard R, my goodness, man. I'm gonna finish though.
You a house N-word. So to call you that, it's almost like a professor pointing out, oh look, there's a modern house N-word. I think this usage is valid and acceptable if it had just been the N-word.
I guarantee he's the same guy who got mad when a white woman called the kid the N-word because the kid had stole something out of her bag, whatever. And she ended up getting, like I said, once again, millions of dollars because of that. I'm pretty sure he was pissed off about that, but yet now he's so cool with this being used. Amazing.
That would be problematic. But when he adds the house N-word, he's being historically realistic. So yes,
historical realistic.
To call black ICE agents house N-words. They are.
You can't make this.
You know what's crazy?
We voted for this. 75 million people voted for this to have ICE agents do their job to get the immigrants up out of here. They came in here bogus. And if Kamala did her part, we didn't have all this chaos going on. But y'all voted for Kamala and Joe Biden. The borders opened up. 4 years, 20 million people came in, if not more than that. Now we got to fix the shit. Come on. Let's do better, people. Vote for common sense.
Liberals will call me the sellout. I'm the black sellout. If that wasn't selling out, what you just saw, then I don't know what the hell it is.
If we could come here, just come the right way. Come across the border the right way. That's it.
Oh, man. My goodness.
You invited. Just come the right way.
guarantee you this. If the leader of the KKK came out right now and said, F ICE, we support the Democrat Party, which they probably do, to be completely honest, you would see liberals line up to become KKK members. You would see liberals across this country, some black ones, like the one you just saw, Torre, putting on white hoods. And this is why I posted about it would be hilarious if Trump came out and said,
Piece of guy, really? Democrat Party is the reason why we have all these immigrants over here.
To all illegals in this country, if you pledge to support the Republican Party in these midterms, you can get full citizenship. I guarantee you, if he said that, Democrats would automatically flip. I'm not deport all of them. All of this stuff would go right out the window, and it would be absolutely hilarious. I had another clip of him, making up a bunch more excuses. And matter of fact, I am gonna show y'all this because this is just crazy. But this is not just him. There's people that actually agree with him. Believe it or not, check it out.
The black delegation has been deliberating this issue for a few days, and I think we have a consensus. He gets a pass. On behalf of the white delegation that believes we should never say that word and believes we should...
Okay, piece of guy, everybody came...
We request a one...
I get it, piece of guy. Your people came the right way, right? So what's the issue? And it's crazy. All those protesters out there, it's like hundreds, if not maybe up to 1,000 people out there protesting against ICE agents. Protesting against ICE agents. ICE agents right there. If they want to get them, they can get them right there and arrest their dumb ass. But that's not the case. They're getting the immigrants, the criminals. It's a big difference. All these protesters out there with these signs, the ICE wanted to arrest them right there. They could get them right there. Why go to their house and snatch them out the house to arrest them? They're right there as an American. Make it make sense, y'all.
Time pass and send apologies on behalf of all of us. We humbly ask the black delegation for forgiveness and await your response. The reason why the N-word is permissible in this specific instance is that black ICE agent should hear the worst possible words coming at him. He should hear words that hurt him to his core. He should think, wow, they really hate me. They feel justified to say anything to me. Only the... Bro.
Are you serious? These ICE agents out here with guns and bulletproof vests. You think words gonna hurt them? They worry about bullets and stuff like that. Words ain't shit. It's about the guns. Y'all worry about some doggone words. You call him an N-word. You should be upset. I actually don't care about that. He's doing his job.
This is just some crazy stuff, man.
The comments on Instagram are against me.
This is just crazy.
It hurt. I think it's also important to note that it was the first thing that elicited a reaction from the agent, and you could see that it hurt. The officer is seeking white approval, so he needed to hear the white disapproval for it to sink in. The light in his eyes changing when he realized what he was being called. It hit home. That man needed to hear it from a white. His family been trying to tell him.
You don't like seeing what is you talking about? I'm black myself. I'm a black American. American, baby.
ICE officers have been kicked out the community. We don't want them back.
Yeah, so there are some folks who actually genuinely agree with him. Crazy. And once again, I'm going to be considered the sellout. Okay. All right. The number of times I've heard people tell me that, I'm sucking up to the white man, or right, I've seen the comment, the white man will never love you. And then I see this from black liberals at this, black Democrats. I see this. What the? If this ain't sucking up, then I don't know what is. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Woo. No stopping nothing. But as always, y'all get in the comment.
Calling someone a race traitor?
You guys don't care.
I hope.
How does it feel to be a race traitor?
You know, we were kind of getting, right?
No, you weren't.
Yes, we were.
How would you know?
Women you talk to.
His wife? I was supposed to say, calling someone a race traitor?
You guys don't care.
I hope you realize that is the most that you can say as a white woman.
Of course.
Of course it is, because they know they're...
This isn't a good look for you.
You think I care about my look?
No, trust me. It is evident by how you look, you don't care.
White America, baby.
We get that, trust me. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying this, trying to be a social warrior. If you actually cared, you probably would care about the child who got, and also the person who got by the person that we were looking for. But see, you don't care.
No, I don't care.
Exactly. They don't care about children. They don't care about nothing but their own little personal virtue signal.
Thank you.
They are literally admitting that they are terrible people in 4K. When are y'all going to believe that?
It is evident by how you look, you don't care.
Another reason why I had to expeditiously leave the liberals. I realized that the most...
So we a clown for supporting Make America Great again?
In
Really piece of guy?
black ass life have been liberal. The only thing they want to do is hide it. When you meet a conservative, he'll wear it on his chest. A liberal will try to fight voter ID laws in order to protect their fraud with votes. But they disguise it under the guise of minorities won't have access because those idiots can't even get IDs.
Amazing.
And we're going to say this to their faces, and they're so stupid, they're not going to be insulted. But let's talk about the voter fraud, though, because I made some pretty serious accusations, right?
Because the first election I voted in was Trump's. I've never voted in a midterm. I've never voted.
What?
I have never voted in a midterm election. Ever.
Great.
I've never voted in a primary. Ever.
Tell us that again.
Oh my gosh.
What we see here is someone voted in your name for a midterm.
Wow.
And then we've got 1, 2, 3 presidential elections. You're saying
Good one, DJ Moon. Good one.
And I'm a bad, I can tell you, I'm a bad patriot. The first time I got voted to be President Trump, that's my first presidential election. I have never voted in a midterm. I have never voted in another presidential election. This is all a lie. I am so obsessed.
So we're looking at 2 presidents.
Excuse me? You see, this is why these Democrats don't want voter ID. You know what? You need ID for everything. You can't buy liquor without ID. You don't think it's important to prove who you is when you voting? Yes, you do. You want the fraud to continue.
And the same people that say voter ID is racist, which is the Congress and the Senate, they had to go vote. And they had to use their IDs to go vote. Really? They're going against voter ID, but yet the Congress, Senate, all of them had to use